This blended unit is planned for Year 4 students focusing on visual art based on this content descriptor. The topic for this unit is abstract art, emphasizing patterns in this type of art. These are the learning goals of the unit. Overall, students will understand the concept of abstract art, explore and analyze abstract artworks by relevant artists, and create their own abstract artwork at the end. Through this whole learning process, students will engage with digital technology as an integral component for inquiry, communicating, and collaborating with each other. Here's the learning sequence for the blended unit. We will first start with a synchronous recap that will be done on Teams. Then I will introduce students to various abstract artists through a presentation that will entail some direct instruction. After that, students will be using a digital tool called Mural to collaborate in analyzing artworks to complete mind maps together. But just before students start to create their mind maps, they will be divided into breakout rooms on Teams. This will basically act as a Discord channel. They can chat verbally or through text and discuss how they want their mind maps to look like while working on them. Of course, this process will be explained to students before the activity takes place to avoid confusion. And after they have completed their mind maps, I will facilitate a discussion to reflect on their group work. Next, a guided exploration will take place in the classroom. I will project Google Earth on an interactive whiteboard and show a range of natural landmarks around the world so students can explore patterns in nature such as swirls in the ocean currents or mountain ranges. To apply the concept they have learned, students will take a picture from a nature walk and post it on Seesaw and write about their observation for their future artwork. Next will be a blended asynchronous activity where students will comment on their friends' work on Seesaw. This way they can collaborate and learn from each other. And at the end, students will use the knowledge and skills they have acquired from the previous activities to create their own nature-inspired abstract artwork using classroom materials. Now let's narrow down this digital activity that students will be engaging in using Mural. Firstly, students will be divided into breakout rooms according to their learning levels. Then, they will be provided a link to their first assigned Mural page where they will play a short game called 2 Truths and 1 Lie. This is intended for students to familiarize themselves with all the functions that they can use, like adding text, shapes, changing colors, the size of text, and so on. This game will also serve as a great warm-up or icebreaker that would help students feel more comfortable in interacting with their group mates, which will strengthen the sense of community within the class. As all the group pages will be accessible to me, I will be circulating each group on Mural to guide students in navigating the basic tools of the site and assess their cognitive and social-emotional behavior, so I can kind of gauge the tone, the flow, and the level of engagement at the start of the lesson, which will help me adjust my pedagogical approach throughout the lesson. So this is an example of how the creation of the mind map can look like on Mural. These are the task instructions for students to look at. And you can actually attach images, so students can go to the image search bar and search for pictures of artworks, for example, Kandinsky. So students don't have to use Google for this, right? You have the picture and you can attach it anywhere you like. Not using Google, right? It filters out so many unnecessary information, and students can go straight into expressing their authentic perspectives about how they feel when they look at artwork regarding the colors, textures, and patterns, all at first sight without any distractions. So it also caters to different learning styles. So I can encourage students to contribute in ways that align with their strengths. They can annotate the pictures by using text. They can also draw. There's a drawing tool that they can make connections with. at real time, they can also add a reaction to their friend's work like this. Moreover, because of the affordances of this mind map tool, they can, as a whole class, look at all the mind maps that all the groups are creating at the same time. And they can use the information collected from all the mind maps and make comparisons from a wider scale. For example, I can scaffold by asking, okay, now what do you think are the similarities and differences between this artwork and this artwork, right? This is why Mural can be such an effective digital tool for this inquiry-based activity. I would also like to put emphasis on my pedagogical strategy of having students use the breakout rooms and Mural at the same time. How using these in sync at this specific time can really benefit them instead of using these two in isolation. I think that because they will be able to communicate with each other directly while creating the mind map, it makes the learning process a lot more efficient, which fosters more effective collaboration. This is the second digital activity. Students will be required to identify any plants, animals, or objects from a nature walk, and then take a picture for the inspiration of their artwork that they will be creating later on. They will post it on Seesaw and then write a short paragraph to describe their picture. The 3 guided questions here are to provide structure for students who struggle with ideas for their paragraphs. This example would be provided for students to get an idea of what is expected. They should create and add their own ideas as long as they meet the minimum task requirements, that they answer the 3 guided questions, which is meant to guide them to complete their paragraphs, right? And in this stage of the activity, each student will be required to find 2 classmates on Seesaw and write a short comment of at least 2 sentences on their posts. Using this tool, they will be able to easily provide and receive feedback by liking and commenting on their peers' work. I think having these clear expectations on this are important to encourage collaboration and self-management skills. This platform also increases students' extrinsic motivation to get their work done, as they already know that their work will be reviewed by their friends. While setting up the activity on Seesaw, there is also an option of attaching instructional videos and sample answers. I will be utilizing this to guide students, especially the ones who have higher learning needs. The class feed is also available for students to explore flexibly, enabling that asynchronous learning experience to unfold effectively. As a teacher, I can also easily monitor and provide student feedback from their uploaded posts and organize all students' work in one place for review and assessment. Other than that, the comments section from the class feed also allows me to be a part of students' collaborative learning. Here's an example of how it can be done. It is such a conducive platform for me to model the type of high-level questioning skills and supportive qualities that students can learn from so that they can make the most out of their learning alongside their peers.